I will call this meeting to order at 7:03 on March 24th, 2020. Heavenly Father, we come to you today and ask for your guidance, wisdom, and support as we begin this meeting. Help us engage in meaningful discussion, allow us to grow closer as a group, and nurture the bonds of our community. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The city of Kirby is dedicated to delivering excellent municipal services to our community in a fiscally responsible manner. City Secretary, please call roll.
Mayor Pro Tem Grant. Here. Councilmember Apodaca.
Here.
Councilmember Salazar. You did let us know he wouldn't be able to attend. Councilmember Ryder. You did let us know he's going to be running a little bit late. Councilmember Street.
Here.
Councilmember Martin.
Here.
Mayor Aldrich.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Citizen participation, we have 6 people signed up to speak. First is Ernest Grumley. Moving on, Roger Roman is there.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, Council. I'm discussing the agenda item, request and announcements. Request by mayor and council members for items to be placed on future city council agendas and announcements on city events and community interest. I'm addressing this because all too often, council members are using the platform, use their authority to project things other than what's on the agenda. And during this item, at the last council meeting, during announcement section, the residents were subjected to a pathetic narrative by Councilman Grant, what sounded to me like a cry for sympathy, as he feels he has been inappropriately attacked by some individual. I took offense that he specifically called me out by name in this matter. I took offense because while I was on council with Mr. Grant, myself, my family, including minor children, were wrongly subjected to a character assassination campaign in an attempt to delegitimize me as a council person in this community. Actions at the last meeting that were characterized by you, Mr. Grant, as lowest of the low. Yet at a council meeting, while Ms. Pierce was mayor, I addressed this matter, and I was told by Mayor Pierce that there would be no apology. And in the announcement portion, when you spoke, Mr. Grant, you condoned that which you called lowest of the low behavior by stating directly to me that I deserved everything that I got. Madam Mayor, if you want to move this city forward in a positive direction, you will need to improve the character and culture that has pervaded this body for far too long. Thank you very much. Have a good evening.
Thank you, Mr. Berman. Mr. Miller, you are signed up to speak. Would you like to speak now?
Absolutely. Jack Miller, I live on Dick Gordon Street. So at the last meeting after I was kicked out, which by the way, Mayor, don't tell your police to escort me from the building. All you have to do is say, Jack, leave my meeting. And I'll do what you say because I follow the law. And the law requires me to leave if you tell me to. Stop trying to weaponize your police. They're law enforcement. They don't have the authority to kick me out of this meeting. Only you do. Stop asking them to do your bidding. You want me to leave? You tell me to leave, I leave. I just wanted to put that on the record. I have no problem with leaving. In fact, if you would have just told me to leave, I would have got my stuff and just walked out. It wouldn't have been a problem. But no, I put on a show. Because of you, I had an officer in my face ready to put hands on me, which would cost your city a lot of money. You have a chief that's in charge of those officers. You're not in charge of them. That chief is. You want them officers to do something on your behalf, you ask the chief. The chief will make sure that those officers do what they're supposed to do according to the law. After I was kicked out, Mr. Grant goes on a tirade, making some false statements. Now, I've read the police report, and I've done some in-depth investigation, and I have questions about Michael's death. And I have a right to ask those questions. Michael can't talk. So I have questions like, for instance, why did the police call Dr. Kottman, a primary care physician, who, quote, was ready to sign a death certificate without hesitation when Michael was not on hospice? At 7 in the morning, Dr. Kottman is my doctor, one of the dirtiest doctors around. Why did the police call the ME's office and tell them, we got a death certificate that's going to be signed? That resulted in the ME not coming out. And I don't know if you know this, but Texas law requires on a death that is not hospice for a medical examiner, inquisition, or inquest to be made, an autopsy to be performed. He was found, according to the police report, with a lamp cord wrapped around his arm. That's according to the police department. I see Mr. Grant shaking his head. So are the police lying? There were no drugs found, no paraphernalia found. How much was the life insurance policy?
0.
And I didn't ask for, that was a rhetorical question. Please, will you call order?
I'm giving you your first.
Right, call order on your own council people, please. Call order on anybody in here that gets out of order. Why was the tourniquet removed and the mat cord wrapped around the arm? These are the kind of.
For your time.
Thank you. And those statements aren't
Next,
baloney.
speak.
That's according to his girlfriend.
Mr. Robert, that's your first warning.
Thank you, Mayor.
Next up to speak is Marco Antonio. Go ahead, sir.
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Would you like an interpreter, sir?
Dice. ¿Cómo están ustedes en la ciudad de Kirby?
How are you guys in the
Do you want the police officer there standing next to your shoulder? Are you fixing to criticize the police?
¿Quieres que te haga algo tuyo?
Oh, está bien.
Okay.
Proceed, sir. Sir, if you have nothing else to say, is your time up?
buen día.
Thank you for your time.
Silence is speech.
Next up is Mrs. Nam.
Anita. Hello, all. First of all, sorry for your loss, sir. I live in the Gordon area. I saw the live stream of this last meeting, and to tell you the truth, I'm kind of appalled on what was said and the lies that were made. You know, you can't just accuse people of doing something without them saying they're going to do it. So if the council member who said that situation would correct himself. As far as the agendas goes, I wish it would be spoken first, then have a discussion about it. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you. Next up, I know this person declined to speak, but I'm going to give them the option to speak again, Mr. Hunt. Are you still wishing not to speak?
Oh, no, thank you.
And last but not least, we have an email submitted by Chris Garza.
Mayor, I've been asked to read the email.
Already had.
Good afternoon, council. Tonight, I would like to bring to your attention the city staff issues that have been arisen due to our city staff. Accountability needs to start with our city staff, who are the purveyors of information and make decisions that affect council and residents. Our city secretary has been dodging questions I have been asked by stating that he will answer them without a timeline or without ever reaching out to answer them. He has also been writing in such a manner that they the actuality of what's occurring at the meeting. And in certain times, let us hold things out altogether, of which you guys are aware of, because this is stated. And no one would vote on those minutes. In the capacity as our elected officials, we have seen a huge misuse of power, which was aided by the council majority. But what needs to talk about and brought up is how our elected officials was persuaded to place representation in direct.
Excuse me, sir. Thank you. Okay, guys. For those who are wondering, I cannot read your comments due to my cell phone being cracked. So if you guys are saying something, I'll read it later and get back to you shortly.
That nothing will be done to hold accountable those who are doing your doing, no matter how bad their wrongdoing. I tell you that there is part of the charter, Article 2, section 2.1, that allows for you to create an investigative body to inquire into the conduct of any employee, and therefore a chance to question the bad conduct and mistakes and act accordingly. I have no expectations that this council majority will actually follow through with this request, but by not doing anything, it will further my evidence that there are people on this community who have better access to city services as our city attorney and the employees in city hall, including our city managers, city secretary, and the all do the bidding of a senior council majority and as a favor, never get held accountable to their misdeeds. I would like for you to place on the next agenda to discuss having an investigative body as per our charter to look into the misdeeds and mistakes of our city secretary and our election officials and hold them accountable.
Thank you, Patty.
You're welcome.
6A, Bear County Appraisal District and Property Tax System.
Good evening. My name is Michael Mesquita. I'm the chief appraiser for the Bear Appraisal District. I believe they sent some handouts for you. Just wanted to go real quickly over the first page is just some Bear County statistics for this year, this reappraisal year. Values countywide are up roughly 22%. For total market value, that's not including any exemptions or anything of that sort. That's just the market value increase. If we look at the calendar year from 2020 to 2021, according to the Real Estate Center at Texas A&M University, the average selling price of a home went from 273 to 312,000. Our average price now is somewhere around 309 Bear County, throughout the entire county. One of the most incredible things about this year, I think that when the pandemic first started, everybody expected everything to pull back, just like business activity. That nothing can be further from the truth with respect to real estate value and the availability of supplies to build new improvements. And so I think that a lot of these things.
Wasn't me. That is one thing I never did miss about being a security guard. All right, guys. Let me bring you guys outside for a second. Well, guys, hate to tell you this. I'm here in Kirby, Texas. Apparently, Kirby is being the next Leon Valley. The council has gone all nuts. You know, I hate public speaking. It makes me nervous. Well, public speaking, I hate it. But yeah, guys, I would love to read your guys' comments. But like I said, my phone is busted. Hey, and of course, you all know who I'm with. SA210. And this mysterious guy here, nobody knows. He's our local midget.
His name's Nipples.
But yeah, the last time at this place, I mean, yeah, the councilman did lose a son, but he openly lied about saying that sheepdog wanted to burn crosses on his yard, which he did not. That is an absolute lie. They also had to, the mayor, overstepping her bounds, acting like she's a tyrant. But yeah, okay, hold on. Let's see what that says. Yeah, okay, I can barely read that. Something about Jabba the Hutt. Yeah, well, no, Jabba the Hutt is better looking. Yeah, because guys, just to let you know, like, on that side of the screen is badly cracked, so if your name comes up in the center on the banner, that's because I can read it there. Over there, no. Right there, yeah. But yeah, I think Jabba the Hutt is way better looking. So that's the new toy. Oh, nice.
Body armor, gotta maintain this dad bod.
Yeah. Gotta get the ladies to chase after you somehow, huh?
Dude.
Yeah. So guys, to my viewers, please be patient with me until I get a new phone. But you know what? Oh, that sounds nice, Andy. Nowhere as nice as a Harley, but still nice. But since that's a police truck, let's go check it out. But yeah, guys, don't you guys wish you can drive something this nice? It's got the ghost stars on it, ghost riding. But yeah, guys, I mean, they're real tyrants in here. But yeah, guys, they're a real piece of shits here. And I will have Sheepdog come out here shortly to give his version on what went on. Yeah. Nice. No, I won't sit on that thing. Yeah, and of course he has to show off his bike. So what do you guys think of Mr. A's new bike there? Awfully quiet.
It'll be louder. I gotta change up the exhaust.
Ah,
I'm not going back in there, man.
yeah, I know.
It's too hot in there. I'm claustrophobic. I didn't want to talk anyway. Matter of fact, I might just head out. I just wanted to say hello.
It's been a while.
Hey, who are they talking about in there? Kid Michael, somebody commit suicide?
The councilman, the old guy, his son died of OD.
What? Opiates?
Heroin or something like that.
Fentanyl?
And
When did that happen?
I'm not sure when.
Recently?
I would have to say within like 6 months, maybe. But yeah, it's just Jack said something on it. Next thing you know, this guy's up there on council lying, saying, yeah, burning crosses on my front yard. Jack said no such thing.
I read through here.
Uh-huh.
Engelman asked 5 people where this place is at, and they couldn't come in.
Well, if you lived here, would you really want to know where this place is?
That's
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Well, Jack's being Jack. You know how he loves talking bullshit. He sees a cop and he's got a bullshit with him.
people were talking to me, I heard them, and I heard, when I walked in and pat Jack on the back, I heard a bunch of, oh, this was him.
But yeah, guys,
I'm gonna take off, man. I don't feel
All right.
right in there for some reason.
don't blame you. But yeah, guys, that was a Kirby police guy going down. Oh, there he is over there. Okay, guys, I'm sure you heard my Zippo go off. Smoking a cigarette. No smoking city of Kirby ordinance. So, guys, ask me. Huh? So, guys, I'll ask you. Does Goat care? But as you guys can see, I mean, the camera does help. The cop looked at me and everything. Good day. Good day. It's not too intimidating to be around these guys. I just don't like public speaking. I mean, I'm great one-on-one. But as you guys can see, that was a male officer. There's a no smoking sign right there. And I waved to him. So you can't tell me he didn't see the cigarette. I roll my own. And as you guys can see, other people have been smoking here too, so nobody gives a shit. All right. Well, good luck picking up your next date, man.
Hmm?
Good luck picking up your next date on that thing.
What's already happened?
Ah.
And where'd they go back and sit down?
Well, I'm just going to hang out here for a bit.
Did they go back and sit down or what?
I don't know what's going on with
They
them.
did, I'm gonna vote.
No, they're still standing there talking to the cop at the thing. But yeah, guys. Now their truck is flashing. Now, guys, I kind of find this funny. There's no cop nearby. I mean, the cop that drives that vehicle is still in there somewhere. But look at that, guys. Can you guys see that? There's nobody here for this light to be going off like that. Okay, well, since they accused you of false things. Okay. Okay, I'll give them some privacy there. So you already picked up a date on that thing?
I'm waiting. He's got girlfriend.
Yeah, always. And the motorcycle only increases it, right?
Take your letter, man.
I'm sorry, man.
Okay.
That was the fire chief. He was dealing with the medical thing, and that dude's really nice, man.
Yeah.
I don't want to be.
But anyhow, to all you guys know who this is, Sheepdog.
Yeah.
Okay, since you had the council member there accuse you of doing something you haven't, would you care to elaborate on that? The whole cross thing.
Oh, the cross thing. Yeah. He, you only get 3 minutes to talk in there, so you gotta put out a bunch of stuff at one time. I got so many things to say, and I was only able to say a few things. The cross burning. So at a council meeting many months ago, I had been hitting this city pretty hard and hitting this dude pretty hard because he likes to run his mouth and insult citizens. Not just me. I came because he's insulting citizens, catcalling citizens, talking over citizens while they're trying to talk. And so I come because I'm that person you just can't do that to. They're not used to it, right? So anyway, I'm starting to empower citizens tonight. This is the most citizens that have been in a meeting since I've come here, and I've been coming here for about 3 months, and there's only been like 3 or 4. That's a packed house tonight. People are starting to listen, and people are starting to be more empowered to come up there and talk to the council because they're slowing down on all this bullshit that they do to people when they get up there and talk. Citizens were scared, right? So anyway, this guy Michael Grant, who by the way is a retired cop, he said he's still a cop, but because he's on city council, he's not a cop. That's a lie, and I'll be getting the records out on that shit soon. He's not a cop. Anyway, he used to be a cop. He's not currently a cop, but he said he is. He's a liar, big liar. Anyway, he says during an open council meeting that if citizens don't, he's going to have to say things from time to time, and people are not going to like it. And if anybody in the community, he said, doesn't like what I say, you can come over and burn a cross on my yard, in my yard. That's what he said. So of course, right away, I know he's not the best at public speaking. He has a problem assembling words because out of all the things he could invite disgruntled citizens to do on his yard, out of all the things he could have said, come and protest. He could have said, come and hold signs. He could have said, come and play music. He could have said, come and flip me off. No. The only thing he could think of was come and burn a cross. So at that point, I started asking him every time I saw him, hey man, I don't know how to burn a cross. Being that you invited people to come and burn a cross because they're not happy with you, I'm not happy with you. And, I'd like to come to your yard and burn a cross, but I don't know how. I've only seen it in the movies. Looks like it might be fun, but I don't know how. So maybe you can teach me how. And I would keep asking him, can you teach me how to burn a cross, Mr. Grant? Or, do you want to retract that offer? Do you want people to come burn crosses in your yard? Or maybe you don't want him to. Of course, he's too much of a tyrant to admit when he's wrong. So then at the last council meeting, he told the citizens that I wanted to come burn a cross in his yard. And then he said, and I didn't say that you could come burn a cross in my yard. The video don't lie. It's on one of the council meetings. It's on there. Eventually, I'll put it all out. I got a bunch of stuff to put out here. And just so you know, there's council people there. There's only 3 council people that really are an issue. That's Salazar, who is not going to be running again. Grant, who says he's dying of cancer. But, who knows? But his term doesn't expire until another year. And then you got the mayor, who she seems to be moving with the waves. But right now, the waves of tyranny are bigger. than the wave of civil rights. So she's moving with the wave of tyranny. I think we can get her down respecting people's rights. I do think we can do that. It's just going to take some time. We'll just have to see. I've laid down some groundwork for her to follow, trying to help them follow the law. And then, of course, after that comes my test to make sure that they're going to follow my free speech test. So, thank you for coming over here, bro.
Yeah, I just want to come out and say hi, man. I don't, what do you expect to participate?
He's going to text me whenever they start talking about the exhibit items. So they're restricting where cameras. They're restricting where they got some ordinances on the agenda tonight. They're restricting where cameras can be, and they're going to restrict when people can talk. Now, we've been giving them heat on that, and they've been getting a lot of calls and a lot of communications from people. I put that out to the community, and thank you guys for calling in and voicing your concerns about them restricting when people can talk and where cameras can be. They've tried several times to weaponize their police against me. They have a good police chief here who is not allowing them to weaponize the police force. So that's good, but they keep trying. The other night, I violated the rules of decorum, and the mayor said, wanted me out of the meeting, and instead of telling me to leave, she tells the police to escort me out. That's weaponizing the police. All she had to do was tell me to leave. I've never done anything that shows that I will violate the law. I've never done anything. In fact, all the videos and evidence shows that when I'm told to leave, I leave. I know a lot of you don't agree with that, but that's just my MO. You tell me to leave, I'm not going to go to jail for trespass. I'm just going to show how you're, making some arbitrary you leave just because you don't like what I'm saying. And I tell the story and it is what it is. I don't have to take an arrest to show the tyranny in that. Telling somebody to leave because you don't like what they're saying, that is tyranny. I agree. It's fucking tyranny. I just don't believe that I have to take an arrest every single time to show that tyranny. Sometimes you got to step back, suck in your gut, swallow your pride, and remain the journalist and keep your camera pointed at it. So
That gut right there.
yeah, this gut right here. This is the motherfucker.
Let me know, Jack, before you start.
All right, man. Thank you for coming out.
Yeah, I just want to come. I'm gonna come out and say hi.
Hopefully we'll get him at 9, man.
I'm hot as hell in there. Another reason.
There has been some improvements here. Slowly,
Sorry, man. Sorry.
slowly but surely, there have been some improvements. When I came on scene, they were actually voting whether or not to allow a citizen to speak or not.
That's crazy.
In contrast to Texas law, which requires them to let a citizen speak at certain times. We changed that, but they're still doing the whole. I mean, you guys. I don't know if you guys heard tonight when I posed the rhetorical question. See, when you're up there talking, the rules say you're not allowed to ask questions. They're not allowed to take action. They're not allowed to ask, this is not a back and forth. It's not a town hall meeting. That's your 3 minutes to speak. That's your 3 minutes to exercise your First Amendment right to speak. Well, how am I speaking when you're interrupting me? So no, but tonight, as you can see, I posed a rhetorical question, and I think it put it into context, into the proper context. Maybe Grant wasn't paying attention, but I put it into the context that I wasn't asking a question that required an answer.
Yeah.
It was rhetorical. It was to make a point. How much was the life insurance policy? Why was the medical examiner not summoned to the scene? Why did they, when Grant's son died,
That was Grant's son?
for reasons unknown, why did they call the primary care physician to sign the death certificate immediately without hesitation? And I use those words because that's what was in the police report, quoting the primary care physician as saying that he would sign the death certificate without hesitation because the guy suffered, the 47-year-old son of Mr. Grant suffered from diabetes, complications from an amputation, and heart disease. Okay, that's what's called an undetermined death, because the doctor's not saying he died of heart disease, he died, or he died of diabetes, or he died of cardiac arrest, or he died of strangulation, or he died of whatever, aneurysm. The doctor's saying, hey, I'm treating this dude for these comorbidities. You don't get to sign a death certificate and say, hey, he died of a heart attack with no autopsy.
Yeah, and you
You
see,
don't get to
guys,
do that.
and you see, guys, when Jack Miller, their sheepdog, made his statement
Jack, me
to
too, man.
the council member, he automatically picked up his phone and started texting. Were you aware of that?
Nah.
As soon as you made the comment about the doctor, he picked up his phone and started texting.
Probably texting Dr. Cotman. Probably texting Dr. Cotman. They have a relationship. I want to make this clear. Here in Texas, when the police respond to the scene of somebody who has died at their home, if you show up there and the person is under hospice care because they are at the end of their life, that means that person is expected to die soon. And the reason for hospice care is to make that person comfortable as they die. They're dying. There's no saving them. They're dead. They're as good as dead. They have a nurse there. They have an attending physician who, when the person dies, that attending physician certifies that that person died of whatever illness that they were put on hospice for. Stage 4 cancer. The person's liver and all their organs are failing. It's metastasized throughout their entire body. They're on hospice. They're being cared by a nurse. They're given drugs to make them feel better while they die. The person dies. They don't need to do an autopsy to figure out why the person died. There is a doctor, a hospice doctor, that will say, yes, this person had stage 4 cancer, full metastasized. You know, that's why they died. Primary care physicians do not do that because the person had diabetes, or they had a bad heart, or they had an amputation. But that's what was done here. They called that guy at 7 o'clock in the morning. And then they tell the ME, hey, we got a doctor signing a death certificate, going to sign it without hesitation. So the ME doesn't come out. So then there's no autopsy.
Yeah.
So we don't know why Michael died. We don't know. And it's very fishy to me. And all you guys got to do is watch one episode of Forensic Files to understand that it's not far-fetched to think that maybe his father had something to do with his death. It's a legit question to ask because of all these fishy things that happen. The police don't call the primary care physician in a situation like that. The proper thing that should happen is the police, when they go there, they look, they call an investigator. Investigator comes out. What happened? We don't know. We don't know. Well, we got the doctor on the phone. Doctor's saying, you know, he's treating him for diabetes, amputation, heart problems. Okay, so the investigator's going to think, okay, possibly that's what this person might have died for, but we don't know. We have to know why a person died. You don't just get to have a dead body in your house.
I'm not even. I am.
And just get to call it however you want. You don't get to just have a dead body in your house and say, hey, we think he died of this. Case closed. I mean, if that were the case, call my baby mama up right now and have her come over tonight. She died of natural causes. Case closed. Just saying. And that's why we don't allow that. Because otherwise you could just, I mean, you could poison somebody. You could do a number of things that somebody could cause their death. And nobody would ever know if as long as I could find a doctor to pay to sign a death certificate. So there has to be an autopsy. Even the medical examiner can't. The medical examiner is not going to say this is how the person died without doing an autopsy. Toxicology, because that ME doctor, that medical examiner's job is to find out exactly what the cause of death was, because the dead can't talk. The dead can't speak. It's the medical examiner's job to be the voice for the dead and say, this is what I died of. In the event that a person dies of natural causes, the ME talks for the dead and says, I died of natural causes. But if the person was a victim of homicide, the ME is the one that says, hey, I was killed. It may not look like I was killed, but I was killed. And the ME knows if you've been killed or not. So anyway, but the problem is that it is taboo in this city to ask any questions about Michael Grant's death. Why is it so taboo? If it happened the way Mr. Grant says, that Councilman Grant said he died of years of crack cocaine abuse, and that affected his heart, and he had I think he said 30% of his heart. If that's the case, and you're willing to talk about it in council, why is it so taboo to ask a question about why did the ME not come? What's this relationship you have with Dr. William Cotman? And I'm not saying that Cotman did anything bad, but there are questions to be answered. There's questions to be asked because things right now are not adding up. And it's my job as an investigative journalist, when I'm hearing from citizens, the rumor is that there's some foul play going on and there's a cover up from the police. It's my job to go and ask the hard questions that are going to make some people's feelings get hurt. Oh, well. What can you say?
Not much at all.
I did not get a chance to say, though, Councilman Grant said at the last council meeting that when he called me a separatist, what he meant to say was activist, and he couldn't find the right words. And what I wanted to say tonight, and I didn't get a chance to say it, was, when I called his daughter, one time I asked him, hey, can I get the phone number for your crack whore daughter? And he addressed that and said, he's saying my daughter's a crack whore, and that's not true, and that's the lowest of the low to attack people's family members. Well, you know what? Just like Councilman Grant meant to say activist, and he said separatist, and he's asking for forgiveness. Well, I'm going to ask for forgiveness too, because I didn't mean to say crack whore daughter. I meant to say beautiful daughter. I just couldn't find the right words. Seems fair. I'll apologize first. Sorry, man. Didn't mean to say crack whore. Trying to say beautiful. Couldn't find the right words. I was a little excited.
Yeah. As I'm filming you like that, yeah, he was over there,
That is great. That's great.
Did he get it?
Yeah. It caught it. That's why I decided to lean like that, and
He's
it's
gonna
like,
text me. So, I would like. That order. You know how to say
but yeah, guys. Like I said, Kirby City Hall is becoming the next Leon Valley. So, hold on, guys. Let me put you down for a second. That's my finger. I swear that's my finger. Uh, uh, that's right, guys. I roll my own cigarettes. Yes, it's tobacco, not the other stuff.
minutes, times 10 is 30 minutes, times 10 is three times 5 times 10 is 150 minutes.
But yeah, guys. And not only is this city property, as you can tell here, they don't maintain their bushes too well. Not only are they tyrants, but yeah, they can't even take care of their bushes. They can't even make it look good. But yeah, guys. But yeah, now that, but we'll do the same thing though.
Oh, yeah. I forget your name. Now I know your face.
But no, sorry, sir.
Howdy.
Howdy.
You want a cigarette? Sure. That'll be me. I'll stop there.
That'll be
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. Well, isn't that how we all are?
Yeah.
We'll smoke and
Your
smoke.
last name is Van too?
Yeah.
No,
Nah.
just, you don't know about that. So
No,
one night,
my real name is Henry Worthy.
he's going back.
Yeah, just
I know,
Let me tell you what happened.
I know
okay.
I'm Van Plumbing, that's why.
Part of what I do.
But yeah, guys. This place is real big on against freedom of speech. Last I checked, this was America, you know, and part of America is freedom of speech. So, but yeah, guys.
Because there is a man plumbing.
And of course, they got their plaque here. And I don't know why their officers all need 3 clips on their belts. Anybody who knows anything about when police carry, they got a magazine or clip in their gun, and they usually carry 2 to 3. But out in this area, I mean, crime is very low anyways. I can understand having a few extra clips in the car, just in case if the situation calls for it. But let's face it, guys, Kirby is pretty quiet. I know San Antonio's several miles down that way, about 15, 20 miles. And that's just the good side of town. The bad side is even further. And there's nothing really out here worth anybody coming to do anything. Well, I could go up there and start speaking Cherokee. But yeah, I used to live in Laredo, and people would always do their hola, como estas. Oh, it's always fun to do with them. I mean, I'm well tanned to begin with, and they always think I'm Mexican or something, and it's like, no, I'm not. I got my bloodline is all over the place. So when they start doing hola, como, yeah, Italian, Irish, Dutch, the whole 9 yards, Cherokee. So when they do hola, como estas, well, I go up to them and say, Osio Tahiji. And I just start repeating everything they say, but only in Cherokee. And trust me, it's fun because they start going like, the hell are you talking about? And it's like, dude, I'm not Hispanic. Well, you know what they say about other languages, right? First words you learn are the bad ones. Well, that's what little Spanish I do know. That's how it started with me. I learned all the bad ones first, but I only learned enough to get a point across. So I grew up in a small farming community, and a lot of the people were seasonal workers. Okay. Sometimes my voice carries, and I still got that bad farming habit, just speaking up, projecting it. But I'm nowhere as bad as I used to be. Because back when I was like 19, 20, and I would say hi to people, man, it used to make them jump. It's like, well, have you ever been in the service? Like military? Well, I don't know how your training goes, but you've heard about how drill sergeants like project and yell. Same thing, but onto a person, it's like, dude, no need to go off on like a drill sergeant. It's like, so I had to learn to lower my voice a little. So is it common procedure for you guys all to wear 3 magazines? Yeah. It's a lot different from where I'm from. Where I'm from, the police and the sheriffs, they always carry 2. And where I'm from, you can't hit your target with what's in your gun. You shouldn't. Yeah. I mean, back in the day, I mean, I used to be able to shoot a coyote from like a good distance without a scope or anything. That's kind of hard to do. And with my family, oh, they love the mess. So yeah, just like when I was in Tucson, I went to a firing range and there was an officer there. And so yeah, yeah. And when I would target shoot, I was doing better than the officer. And at that time, like I told the officer, yeah, it's been about 8 years since I held a gun at that time. But it's one of those things, it's muscle memory. Because back on the farm, I mean, when you spend, thousands of rounds downrange, I mean, you don't need to aim anymore. It's just a simple point and shoot. It's like you see the target and you just pull the gun up and you hit it. It's just like I remember one time my mother got mad at me and my father because on the farm we had a javelina. They're a smaller pig compared to what's out here. The only difference is size, and the javelina are a whole lot meaner.
Bigger than the average pigs or the.
Yeah,
or
the pigs out here, okay, they usually stand about yay big.
Yeah.
Javelina or shorter. And they're
like bigger than potbellies?
almost the same size as a potbelly.
Okay.
But they're like on a mixture of Viagra and steroids. That kind of meat. I mean, you could be already dead and it will just still keep on you. And as I tell people, if you're going to hunt those things, it don't matter what size caliber of a gun you got. Don't get stupid. I used to be pretty good at stitching people up. Just like one guy I took hunting for a javelina. He had that whole dirty hairy thing going on. 44 and everything. Oh, I got big guns. I could take one of these out. We had a platform for him to stand on. Okay, as I told you, these things are mean. What's the dumbest thing you can do when they're like from where we're standing to that mailbox? What's the worst thing you can do? Get on the same ground as them, right? Well, that's what he does. He pops that round at one and it ricochets off the skull. The thing comes running, gets him on the leg. And of course, I'm at a distance and I ended up taking a round. And as it was making a pass to go after his leg, the nose just barely touched him. And I ended up putting the pig down. And of course, I had to do my thing, stitch him up pretty good, and just to prove on how bad people are. The doctors got to know my handiwork pretty good. It's like, okay, I recognize that bandage, I recognize that stitch job. Mr. Worthy did it. And as I tell people, when it comes to these things, don't be stupid. It's just like the feral hogs out here. yeah, if I'm not stupid enough to get on the ground with a javelina, I ain't gonna get on the ground with these things. And like I told the people in my area, let me trap them, let me deal with them. But there's a reason why I tell people let me deal with the feral hogs. Because I'd rather deal with them than you deal with them. Is the last thing I would want is for you as a law enforcement is to draw your gun in an environment like this, especially with kids around, and have to discharge your gun to stop a pig. But that's why it's like there in Converse, I told the city council there, if it ever happened, let me take care of them. I can take care of the pigs. Domestic pets won't get hurt. The people won't get hurt. I can deal with it. I grew up on a farm. That's all I know. Hunting and trapping. Yeah. But then again,
Nowadays, you can
yeah.
turn it into a business.
Yeah. Well, I did learn wilderness survival, and I'm talking about from the starting point, the Stone Age.
Mhm.
Because you know what? Flint
Like the
Nap.
Boy Scouts or
No, I was never in the Boy Scouts. I had family who taught me this.
Mhm.
Due to the Native American heritage.
Okay.
Do you know what flint napping is?
Hmm?
Flint napping. Do you know what it is? Have you ever went to a natural history museum and you noticed like the old spear tips and knives that were made of stone?
Oh,
Like
the
this,
perfect shape ones or the jagged ones?
the perfect shaped spear tips made of stone.
Okay, yeah.
That's flint napping.
Oh.
Yeah. That's where I started learning. Because with my family, if you're going to learn anything, you learn from the beginning.
Mm. That's always good. You gotta learn the beginning so you
Yeah.
to the present.
Yeah. It's just like when it came to learning how to shoot a gun. Guess what type of gun I learned to shoot with? A muzzle loader.
The old
Yeah, the old ramrod, like George Washington day kind of gun.
did you have to make the bullet turn?
Bullet, gunpowder, the whole 9 yards. Yeah. I mean, yeah, with my family, I've learned a lot of interesting things. And when it came to like making the gunpowder, yeah, I can make it into something else, which is illegal. But as I tell people, I did it like 4 times in my life, and that's it. Because with me, it's just like, okay, that whole IED stuff, I have no need for it. All right.
Go and break away.
All right. You be safe, sir. So yeah, guys, thumbs up, thumbs down. Don't matter. We're all good. All right. You have a good day, sir. And just to make a quick joke, I'm sure you all know who those two guys are. For a quick donation,
Go back in.
oh, I got it. I'll tell them whatever you guys want for a quick donation. Just joking, though, guys. Seriously, I prefer a thumbs up. Back to the city council meeting. You know what? I think I'll have another cigarette before I go in. Yeah, I'll have another cigarette. But yeah, guys, I am here with TX Sheepdog 72 and SA210 Cop Watch. So yeah, I'll be covering the outside, guys. Yeah, guys. I will joke about donations if you guys want me to say something crazy. Hey, Miss Roxanne. Not too bad. Oh, for a little bit, I thought I would have another smoke. And thank you for being polite, though. And thank you for being so polite, though. Yeah, you're the first officer out here that's ever done that with me.
Really?
Yeah, the whole smiling, hey, how are you, shaking the hand.
Well, why not?
That is a good question.
I don't have a problem.
Yeah, SAPD, they like to throw me down to the ground and handcuff me. Yeah, you want to know what they like to charge me with? Interference with a public servant and resisting arrest?
What for?
Good question.
I gotta ask questions.
Yeah, well, the last time I got arrested from where we were standing to the red car over there, is where I was filming them. I was very quiet, didn't say a thing, very professional. And this one officer, he was getting all upset. You might have a gun, you might have a knife, stand over here, do this, do that. And he kept saying, come over here. And okay, I decided to comply with his request. He did say, come over here. So I crossed the street legally. And that's when he threw me down to the ground and cuffed me.
Wow, sounds wrong.
Yeah. But not all
I'm
officers.
assuming you're handling that, right?
Oh, that's already taken care of.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, it didn't
I
even.
haven't seen that in years.
Yeah.
My stepdad used to do it all the time.
Um.
It was like that's like the most nostalgic thing.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
he used to buy them and then do it himself. He even had that machine, I guess, that would do it for you.
Yeah.
And it would pop out for you, but it wouldn't have a filter.
I have those. I have that too. Yeah,
Fair
but
enough.
this is something I picked up from my grandma.
It's old school.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, as I was telling you.
No, I don't know what the difference. Is it better tobacco or is it?
Well, tobacco is bad overall in general. If you're going to smoke, filter's better for you because it knocks down some of the bad stuff for you.
Yeah, but isn't that just dried leaves? Unless it's processed obviously through a company to preserve it, but isn't it just if it's straight from the leaf? Because that's how it was done by the Indians. They didn't have chemicals.
Yeah, it's more of a taste preference.
Yeah.
It's like Coke versus Pepsi.
Fair enough. A little bit more hops. Fair enough.
And it's like Budweiser versus whiskey.
Right.
You're going to notice the taste right away.
Better. Isn't it like a cigar?
Depends on what type of cigar you're talking about.
Cigar.
Yeah. Well, back in Tucson, Arizona, they got this smoke shop. And they make these mini cigars called the Irish Cream. They don't sell it out there.
No, they don't. I've heard of them.
Yeah.
I've heard of them, but I have never seen them.
Oh.
Maybe in Vegas. I think it was
One of these days, I'll have to send one of my friends out there to buy a couple.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you smoke cigars or not.
I haven't in a long time, but I do like them. I do like them.
So, yeah.
I even love the pipe smoke.
Oh, I do that too.
It smells so good. It
Well,
does.
I like to roll my own, but I used to carry pipe tobacco with me and a pipe.
Yeah.
And there was a reason why people would ask me why I carry both. Well, wasn't that necessarily. It's when I go to light up, and if somebody was standing over there and the wind's hitting me in the face and they see me smoking, they'll start
acting all stupid.
and it's
Yeah.
like, okay, you stupid? I put them down when pack the pipe in. Yeah, because with pipe tobacco, it's a strong scent.
Yeah.
And I always went for the vanilla.
I've never tried it out of a pipe. I don't know what the difference is, but I do enjoy the ambiance. Let me tell you,
Yeah.
it is a good smell. But let me go inside. I have
Well,
to go. I don't want to
if
miss the
you-
meeting.
You can handle a cigar. You can handle
Well, that's fair.
because unlike this or your vape, it's a lot more smoke, and not many people can actually be like the old days where you inhale.
Well, I with a cigar I did, but it was like for me it was like calm.
Yeah.
You know, and it felt good. It was. I would always have it with either whiskey or I would have wine. It felt great, but I haven't done it in years. And one day, I guess I had the wrong cigar. It was a darker one, and it just hit me wrong. I gagged and I didn't do it again. But that doesn't mean like every time I smell it, it was awesome. It was awesome.
And speaking of alcohol, back in the day, not many people could handle the alcohol I drink.
Which one do you drink?
Anything 151 or higher on the proof.
The rum?
They do make whiskey, rum, all that.
Yeah. I've never seen. I guess I never looked. I've seen 70, 80, 90, but I haven't. I don't think I've ever seen.
Yeah, when it's
The rum is pretty high, like at 120.
when it starts getting into the 150, if I had a bottle of 150 with me right now, I would be able to pour it on the ground and light it on fire.
Well, that's what it was supposed to be. That's how they gauged it back in the day. The pirates, and when they would
well,
light it, that's how they say proof, because they would
speaking-
count it.
Speaking of old days, are you familiar with the old term gut rot?
I've heard of it, but I don't know what it means.
Okay, back in the old day when they used to make their own alcohol, there's the good batch and the bad batch. And if you ever were to see an actual bar table back in the days, like Wagger days, you'll notice burn marks. What they would do is they would take a little bit of the alcohol, put it on the table. If it burns blue, it's good. If it's orange, it's bad. And if it's orange, it'll mess with your gut. It'll cause you problems. So henceforth, gut rot.
Makes sense, but it's not like a long-term thing. It's like an IBS kind of thing where it messes up your intestines. You kind of go to the runny sides on both sides.
Vision. It can cause
Really?
you blindness.
Wow, I didn't know that. That's pretty cool.
I thought when your partner there, I used to do wilderness live.
Oh, you're right up my. I would love that. Yeah, that's awesome.
And those who practice wilderness survival, there's a saying when it comes to wild edibles.
Yeah.
All wild edibles are eatable. Some you can only eat once. And there's a reason why they say you can only eat it once. Poisonous.
But I've always been. Are you Texas native as far as survival goes? Texas native, or is it
I
more
learned
Colorado-ish?
from Arizona.
More desert. So it's a little bit like here, but different.
I'm adapting what I learned from that environment to this environment, and you'd be surprised how easy paddle.
But what I'm curious about is what if, let's say, I'm going on a hike and I run out of snacks. I would like to get to know, but there's not even an app that I can go to that would tell me, hey, eat or no.
Well, if you ever go on Amazon, look up books like Texas Wild Edibles.
Sure.
It'll show you all the plants that you can eat.
But they look different on the picture.
Yeah, and when you memorize them, you know who Jack is, right?
Philip.
Yeah. Have him give me a call.
Yeah.
And I'll
Just warned
walk you straight through.
they showed him when he was driving down the street,
And
but
it's like a traffic. I can show you
that's
that
all.
too.
One of your names not in your hand. So what's your real name?
My name is Henry Worthy. With EY.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some people go by dictionary. Like, okay. But I always love making fun of my last name, though. I can't say I'm not worthy. I'm not worthy. my last name is Worthy, so obviously I'm Worthy.
There you go. I wish I had that left. That'd be great. You
Yeah,
can't
but
even
yeah,
deny it.
I can even show you how to make snares, especially out of your shoelaces.
Those are snares. I'm familiar with those. Yeah, that's
I
awesome.
can show you deadfalls, fours, everything from old school, straight up. And as I tell people, I mean, even your nice uniform there, I can even show you on how to make it into cordage. I had a neighbor that tried to bullshit,
Oh, you proved them wrong.
and I ended up putting up one of my old T-shirts, and I ended up making strips out of it, and I just made cordage out of it. And once I made about 3 cordage out of it, I weaved them. I tied them on ways. I weighed around. I told, okay, now grab that cord, that's a tree, a couple of and it held them. So yeah,
So that's good fishing line. That's
I
good
can
for
even show you
even
how to do that.
snares.
I can even show you on how to do snares for the fishing line.
Really?
Really? You know how the snares are, right? Spring snares? I can even show you on how to adapt that to a fishing snare, where you can like stick the hook out there and it just catches it.
Now you got me interested
Yeah,
now.
I can even show you how to turn it into a audio alarm.
Yeah.
Funny story on that one, though. So I used to also be homeless.
Yeah.
And I had an officer that used to check up on me now. Well, he came showing through my camp one time and tripped one of the audio alarms. Yeah, ever since then, I always called him Poop Truck. He ended up pulling his gun. Pop, pop, pop.
No way. That's stupid.
Well, that's why I had the audio alarms. You don't know who's coming up. Hey, Philip. But yeah, he worked at Walmart. But yeah, the things I can show you. Yeah.
Awesome. Let me get inside and talk
Go
later,
ahead.
okay?